This is Bishop Craig in Lansing for today, and this is take one for the week of the 24th of September. I am just back last night from Western North Dakota. I was there from Thursday through Sunday, and on Friday and Saturday, I taught 2-day-long events on the book You Are Witnesses of These Things, which Chelsea and I developed for our synod and is getting use across the church. I met some wonderful people, very kind. I learned about a different part of our church, which I always appreciate, in a different part of our country. And by the end of both days, people were sharing their experience and a Bible story and good news about Jesus. I think one day the sharing went on for an hour and a half, and it was close to that, if not the same, the second day. So the book seems to be having a good effect, and people are really uplifted by hearing stories of people's experience of Jesus. So I commend that to you again. And if your congregation, your church council, is wanting to read the book and you actually commit to reading it and you reach out to Pastor Sprang, I think he will provide you with copies of the book. So I am home today on Monday, spending the day catching up on phone calls and emails. And on Tuesday, I leave for the Conference of Bishops. I'll be there through Saturday for the in-person fall meeting of the Conference of Bishops. So I would welcome your prayers as the bishops meet and do whatever it is we're going to do. I will look at the agenda tonight. The readings this week all seem to have to do with testing. There's an Exodus reading in which they're traveling through the wilderness and they get to a place where they're thirsty and they murmur and test God wanting water. And God provides water for them from a rock. And what I find interesting is that Moses does not name the place where God provided water. Moses names the place where we tested God. So testing is going on. And testing will continue. In the gospel lesson, the chief priests are testing Jesus, and Jesus tests the chief priests with a question about John. And in the end, Jesus tells a parable about two sons who the father sends out to work, and one says, "I'm not going," and changes his mind and goes. And the other says, "I go, sir," but doesn't. And the one who said no but went is the one who did the will of God, or the will of his father. And Jesus talks to the chief priests about the tax collectors going into heaven, or going to the kingdom of God, kingdom of heaven, for them, because while the chief priests look at tax collectors and kind of say they didn't obey, but then they did. Where the chief priests were kind of, look at us, we're righteous, but in the end they didn't obey God. So what I'm picking up in all of this is it's okay to test God as long as eventually we come around. And Philippians has this line in the Philippians reading, work out your own salvation. I don't hear that as work it out so that you get saved, but work out your salvation. Work out for yourself what it means that you are saved. Or, in Lutheran parlance, what does it mean to live the baptismal life or the baptismal vocation? And testing will be a part of that, as long as testing leads to obedience. Now, I won't preach on Sunday because I'm coming back from the Conference of Bishops. So if I have to preach or had to preach at the last minute, I would be tempted as the sermon to simply read the Philippians passage slowly, deliberately, well-rehearsed, well-practiced, to read that beautiful Philippians passage once or twice and pray. So I guess my sermon for you this week is to find the Philippians passage that is assigned for October 1st. You can Google Revised Common Lectionary October 1st and read the Philippians passage slowly, deliberately, allow it to sink in. Let this beautiful hymn be your guide and your good news for the week. So I'm Bishop Craig. This is Take One, touching down in Lansing as I head to Chicago. I hope you have a great week. Oh, I should say that, email, I won't be on top of that this week. I probably won't be on top of phone calls till I get home. But Pastor David and Pastor Christy are here and ready, so reach out to them if you have need. Again, peace be with you. Take care. Bye-bye.